businesses from Neil's to the Duet's Corner. I don't know what that building's called. We had a lot more lights, and we went a lot farther out in the city. You know, we went all the way to 169, and I don't see any volunteerism from the chamber helping putting lights up no more. We used to do it by 3 Sundays, 3 weekends a month before Christmas, and the day after the Super Bowl Sunday, we always took them down. I mean, I don't see any volunteerism from the chamber helping with any lights, handing them up to people to put them up or anything. Not a person. I'd like to see them help too a little bit.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Trost.
May I comment?
Sure.
Well, I agree with Gary that in years past, we've had lots of volunteerism. We do not have that same level as we did then. Our chamber is mainly made up of younger people that have families that are stressed with activities their children are in, and they just simply do not have the time. So that is part of it. I think the other part is we've made it probably too easy not to volunteer. Bob Dalkey has, we have offered help up at Townsend Park with some assistance from some adults to help with the decorating of Townsend Park. And the situation is that the lights have to be laid out in just a way that Bob understands so they can all be plugged in and connected correctly. So we can't have a lot of people up there doing that because there's only 2 outlets there and the main box. So it's very difficult to string lights and get them correct up there. Plus with the boom truck, you can't have Boy Scouts and stuff with the bucket truck, excuse me. And, you know, there's danger involved in that. So, and we're well aware of that. So I think, Gary, maybe that will help to answer some of those questions. I wish we could do more with volunteers.
All right. Yes, Mr. O'Loughlin.
2 things that come to mind. First of all, the concept of volunteerism has changed over the last 20 years. People will volunteer, but they volunteer on their terms.
That's correct.
Not the city's terms or anybody else's terms. And that's tough to try and work around, especially when you're running a tight schedule. So I can sympathize with you on that issue. The second thing that was brought to my attention was the fact that we tend to buy, sometimes we tend to buy junk instead of quality stuff. And consequently, a set of lights last 1 or 2 years instead of 4 or 5 years because we bought the cheapest thing they could find and it just doesn't hold up. So maybe if the council sees in its wisdom to give some money towards the lights, that they insist that these lights be quality as opposed to just a piece of junk, the cheapest thing you could find. And the other thing is just to go for the volunteer, yes, but realize there's a whole different world of volunteerism out there today than was there 20 years ago.
Thank you, Mr. O'Loughlin. Ms. Meyer, did you have something to say?
I do. Thank you, Mayor, Council. I hate to rain on everyone's parades all the time, but we do need to keep in mind that this year we are facing some loss of state aid as well, and that we just were finished working on our 2010 budget, which we balanced based on holding some expenses as well as deferring some other ones in order to balance that budget. And anything you do authorize will mean that we need to make a cut either in the 2010 budget or a cut in the 2009 budget, which we are less than 1 month away from being finalized with for the year. So we don't have a whole lot of areas as well. So just a reminder, we did finally just come to some sort of balance. So anything you do, we will have to find somewhere to cut something else.
Thank you, Ms. Meyer. Okay, we have a couple of options here. We can say no, we can meet it halfway, or we can give more. When do the lights need to go up? When, what are we talking about here?
The vestibule lighting is up all the time.
Mhm.
The city pays the light bill on them year-round.
Right.
We put generally the week of Thanksgiving, we put them up. Bob Dahlke's works on weather. I think you give him authorization, it's about the same amount of time. We have the Christmas lighting is the second week.
Yeah, it will be the